Oh, Jesus. 2 minutes and 35 seconds of sitting here? What am I supposed to do for that long? Oh my God. Well, I guess I could start Rainbow Six Siege and get everything set up in that amount of time. But Jesus, it's still like a long time. Can you guys imagine that? Just sitting around for 2 minutes doing nothing though? Because I can't imagine that's too long for me, right? Right? You guys also agree with me? That's just too long. Can't stand it, man. Cannot stand it. I need this to load faster so I can see chat as well. So we still got like 2 minutes to go through though. Jesus. Oh, I left my mouse on. I keep leaving my mouse on. Damn it. It's annoying. Are you done loading? Cool, you are. All right. Yeah, we need to bring you on in just a bit. Oh God, I can't see. My hand's all wobbly. I can't tell where the edge of the screen is. Oh God, what is life? Am I recording audio too? Are we? All right, I think that's good. All right, so we should be able to make this a little bit bigger at least, and then should be able to full screen this so that I could view some of this like statistics and stuff that's going on at the same time. Yeah, that's good. All right, and then we should drag this back into the picture. It just kind of sits up here in the corner, snaps into place, minimize it on down, like so. Take it and drag it on up a little bit like that. Drag this on down, and because I am actually doing the live, see, I had a plan on actually doing the whole like webcam thing. I should probably put pants on. The secret to all great streamers, by the way, is that they just don't wear pants. But obviously, I gotta put pants on if I'm on the stream. I have the webcam on. Or I gotta cut up. I mean, I could just like cover up the blanket, right? It's like the same thing. One of my 3 comforters. My other 2 are currently not here though, so I just kind of have one. Before any of you ask, my girlfriend's not here either. Not a bad thing. We didn't break up or anything. If that's immediately where your mind went, ooh, shit, that was probably really loud. Sorry. Ooh, it's awesome. Sorry about the cursing. I try to watch that on stream. Um, she's over at her grandparents' house right now, becoming Santa essentially for her sisters. So that's that. Oh, I didn't even title the stream. What is it? Oh, it's not Destiny 2. We're not playing that. Oh, this is custom Lego gun mock. M1014 Rainbow Six Siege live stream build. Pt.1. Cannot believe I forgot about that. Man, how what if people would have been really confused? That might be why not a lot of people actually showed up to it. So you guys can't see it unless I open up the Elgato game capture software that I have on the PC, and then you guys can see it because it'll be on the screen. But I have Operation White Noise opened up beside me, aka Rainbow Six Siege. Operation White Noise is the most recent patch, which added two of one of the two of some of the most coolest operators, in my opinion. The South Korean operators are excellent operators. I really like both of them. Vigil more than Dokkaebi. But we can get into that too a little bit. I want to describe what's going on as of right now. A little while ago, we started to create the FBI loadouts. I've already done all the SAS members loadouts. Honestly, it was pretty easy to do all of them, simply because the SAS operators, I pretty much had every single weapon already. The only thing that I had to really build from scratch was, I think, the shotgun. I think, let me check. I can actually check on here. We'll just scroll over and we'll click on shop. In case you guys didn't know, you can go to shop, and then when you scroll down to weapon skins, if you click on that tab in the shop, there's two different sorting options available past that tab, and you can sort by counterterrorism unit, CTU, or you can sort by weapon type. So I like to do CTU, so BOP, FBI, SWAT, CEO, GIGN, GROM, GSG9, GTF2, Navy SEAL, SAS. So the FMG9 I had to build from scratch. The M590A1 I had to build from scratch. Mossberg 590 I had to build from scratch. I already had the L85A2. I already had the MP5K. I already had the base of the AR-33. The SIG Pt.1 came from Jim. Thank you, Jim. And then the SMG-11 is something that I built from scratch either. So only 3 of those weapons did I really have to put effort into, in a sense. So today we're going to be taking a look at building more of the FBI SWAT's loadout. So there's currently 7 total weapons, and we've built 4 of the 7. So we've built more than that. Wow, we only have 2 weapons remaining for the FBI. I built the UMP45 for the Modern Warfare 2 line of weapons quite some time ago. I believe that was my 600 subscriber special, I think. I think there's something moving around outside. My window's open, but it's all dark out there, and it makes me feel uncomfortable because I can't see out there. If I die, my body will be laying here on live stream until someone finds me. So hopefully that doesn't happen. So we built the UMP45 for the Modern Warfare 2 section of guns, and we've completed Ash's loadout entirely. So Ash's loadout encompasses 4 out of the 7 guns. Hers is the G36C, the R4C, right? Is it R4C? Yeah, R4C. The 5.7 USG, which came from Bacher. Thanks, Leo, for your cooperation. And by cooperation, I mean aspiring artists. Thank you for being able to go through and look at Busco's video and replicate it pretty much exactly how it was replicated into LDD. That's really appreciated. And then the 1911, or the M45 MOC, I actually built myself, and it turned out fantastic. I absolutely love the 1911 that I was able to pull off. It looks really, really good. So that leaves 2 weapons. That leaves the 5.56 XI, or the SIG 5.56, and the M1014, so the Beretta M1014, which is just a semi-automatic, really high-end shotgun. Like, these things are super high-end, super expensive too. So this should be a relatively simple build, to be completely honest. I'm not expecting a whole bunch of difficulty from this, and if there is a whole bunch of difficulty from this, that I might have some troubles with myself, because this should be, like I said, pretty easy to do. So for those of you who also don't know, I know it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds since we started. There is I think it's fireworks. I think people are setting off fireworks. I think that's what it is, but I can't see any. So, oh yeah, yeah, it's fireworks. I just heard someone scream about it. There is a way to view stuff in Rainbow Six Siege in full screen. It's pretty cool. You just like, if you're hovering over a weapon, you can press right stick in, and you should be able to view it in full screen. So that brings us around to our current build. So we're going to be working on doing the M1014. We're going to be working in primarily reds, orange, and yellows like we usually do. Sometimes I do blues and purples. I think this time, because of how I don't want to say new, but how I'm coming into it, I think we're going to be doing mostly reds. So today we're going to be taking a look at finishing up the main receiver. And then after we finish that, I'm going to actually stop live streaming, and I'm actually going to finish doing a majority of the reviews for the guns and stuff that I have that still need to come out. And then after that, I think I need to render quite a few different images for those guns as well. So we'll see how that goes. So we're going to start with the back of the receiver. I've had this idea for a while. I think the back of the receiver is basically going to be this in a sense. Before I start, M1014. Let's figure something out. Dragon links. Millimeters is actually really helpful. Length of a Lego 2x4. And it should be right, the smallest brick will knob, a standard 2x4 knob, basic brick should be 2x8, so 16 millimeters wide. Now then, there's some, but it's actually only 15.8 millimeters wide, but I round up to 16 because it's easier. So 885 over 16, you just press enter and it should pop right on up. If I did that right, did I see an exclamation point in there? If I saw an exclamation, no, I did right. So 55 studs long in total is what we're looking at. So this will be this much shorter than the entire thing. So 55 is our goal. So let's take and grab a 10, just makes things easier. Place this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we'll grab a 4. There's no way this thing is only this long. No 1. There's no way. Oh, wait. I did that wrong. Stupid me. M1014, we'll look that up again. Oh wait, if I type in 88, yeah, all right, so 885 divided by 16. That's 55 2x4 bricks, which means we just multiply this by 4, so it's 221 studs long. Okay. Gotcha. It's 221 studs long. Holy shit. That is really long. So that's 50 studs. That's 100 studs. 200 studs. Oh my god, this thing's huge. Am I sure? Okay, so let's type in M1014 again. M1014. Okay, so 885, right, length of a Lego 2x4 is 16 millimeters. Oh, wait. Oh, 32. Oh, okay, so we need to take 885 and divide by 32, which should cut this down in half. So that's 27 2x4s long. Now then, this is 2x4s, so this is 27 2x4s. So we multiply this by 4, and we're going to get 110. Okay, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 100. and then we just needed the one that I deleted is the last one that we needed. So that is the total length of the gun. We're not going to round, oh well, I guess we should round up by one, we'll just round up by one. Shits and giggles. Shits and giggles. Is there anyone in chat? Have I ignored chat? No, we're good. Okay. All right. So the stock there was, or no, barrel length is 470. So if we take and do 470 divided by 32, 14 2x4s, we're going to multiply this by 4, so 58 of these studs is barrel. So if we do 58, so if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's 50, and then 8, so that's the barrel right there. And then the rest of it is receiver and stock, which is interesting because the receiver actually looks like it's not, in a sense. So this is the barrel right here. Oh god, I'm messing all this up. This is the whole gun itself in terms of length right there. Yeah, chat. I know there's no one in chat for some reason. There's only one person watching. I know. My channel must be dead. It's an absolute travesty. We're just gonna kind of overlap those just a hair. All right, so yeah, I guess what we can actually do is start from the front of the receiver and work our way backwards. Oh yeah, the image is over on the other side. Oh wait. All right, I'm getting all befuddled here. Okay, all right. So how I plan to do this was actually a mixture of techniques. So I'm actually going to, where's my controller? Flip this upside down just to view to make sure I was right. So we're going to build the whole top of the receiver essentially almost, I don't upside down, but not. We're going to flip it right side back up momentarily, but for now this is going right here. We're going to take this and place this here. We're just to add a slight bit of dip right below it, like so. And then when we go to build the rest of this, we actually need to come up by just a slight amount. So we're going to put this 12 in here. And then we're going to use our pieces like so to build the place that the actual shells come in from. Mogul, I am live streaming in case you're here, you're around, you know. Do I have shotgun shells? I don't seem to have any. So real quick, we're going to go ahead and save. I've been bitten the butt too many times to not save right now as we begin our work on the M1014. All right. Yeah, so M1014, quotation marks, Rainbow Six Siege, brackets. Work in progress receiver version 1. And that should go to desktop. Save that, and now we need to come over to here, and let's go hit up Google Drive. I need to grab me some shotgun shells. Should be pretty easy to grab, to be honest. How much is the M1014 worth? 8. Is it 8? Maybe it's 6. I think it's 6. Is it 6? Let's go to operators, thermite, loadout, M1014 capacity is 8 actually, so there's a lot that we have to fit in there. Guns, M590, M590A1, there we go. Complete version number 1. We're going to grab, oh, that was the picture. I didn't mean to do that. We're going to grab this. We're going to open this. Switch back to here. Switch back to here. Just like so. So this is going to open, and this is going to provide us with the base shotgun shells that I use. The shotgun shells that they use in game are actually green, which is interesting, at least to say, I guess. So this is the Mossberg 590A1 that we did for the SAS operators. This is an absolutely fantastic weapon. I love the way that this turned out. I'm going to be using the same magazine tube design that I used on this model for the other model. The reason for that is because I fit every single shotgun shell in this model that I needed to. And you can actually load this like a real shotgun. And I like that. So here's the shells. It's pretty basic shotgun shell. Michael Wright, hi, how are you? We're going to Control C this, and we're actually going to go ahead and put this into our templates just as a good place to grab it from in case we ever need to grab any more. We're going to close out of this. We don't need to save that. We're going to open the M1014 back on up. It holds 8. So basically the goal is now to see if the magazine tube below the barrel is going to in fact hold 8. If it doesn't, we are in for some fun, I guess, as a, well, hold on, 2, 3, 8. We actually have room to spare. That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that's because the shotgun shells are too small or what. Yeah, so we'll just leave that on out of there for now. What was I doing? Oh, I was seeing how long they were to see if they, yeah, here we go. I need the opening size basically for this portion right through here. There we go. All right. Crazy old me. All right, so this is going to go there, and this is going to be the loading ramp, essentially. So the loading ramp is a pretty standard loading ramp. Now we have to make a way for it to load. What's the distance? So the distance is more like 3 studs worth of distance back here, but we are going to use these right there. So, and then to do the loading ramp is, I don't want to say easy, but someone in the community showed me something a while ago. It's the, excuse me, I'm sorry guys, it's just, I had 2 Big Macs, and they're really, I don't want to say they're messing with me, but I keep burping inside, and that's kind of throwing me off. So the feed ramp that I'm going to use is something that someone else in the community showed me. His name is Future Yeti. He is a super cool builder, and I absolutely love a lot of his work. I really wish he would come back to building, but he gets busy. So no, it's not. I don't want to say it's. I can't. I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. Basically, the method he was building, I think the P90 or the AUG, at one point in time, where the trigger that you have is one of those that you push straight back. It doesn't tilt at all. I think the best way to show this is with my 1911. This is an Airsoft 1911. It's currently unloaded. You can see straight through it. So there's nothing to be afraid of. It's got a BB in the chamber, but the magazine's in my hand, so we should be fine. So when you pull the trigger on a 1911, it just goes straight back. It doesn't actually pivot like a traditional trigger would. Safety's on, magazine's in, hammer is down. So those types of triggers are really difficult to do. So he was doing kind of like an experiment to see how he could do one. And what happened is he came up with this really interesting thing. You have this stud right here. A rubber band can fit through here because it can go around either ends of this one stud in the middle. And then you could have this another section or another section that comes out right here. These aren't going to be connected in the end, but for now, they will be connected for the sake of how they look or how it's going to work, essentially. Let's put this here. So these won't be connected, but this is going to be held in place because the rubber band you are supposed to use is a really small rubber band. It'd be kind of like a rubber band that you would use if you had braces at all. So for those of you who have braces and you still have packs of rubber bands lying around, lucky you, because this is going to be an easier life for you if you go to make this. So I'm going to use a 6 to give this room to tilt. Then we're going to that's going to stay as it should, and then let's see how big this actually is. This should we're going to use a corner piece actually. Upside down, thank you. To do put that there, and then we should be able to put 2 cheese slopes here. We're going to leave a slight gap in the front. We're leaving that slight gap for so that as this pivots upwards, the kind of axis that this takes, it's going to stick out slightly forward. So putting this end up against here is not going to work. And then this side back here also needs room to rotate through as needed. So that's that. That's pretty much it for a simple and basic feeding mechanism. We might switch this one over to just this, just to kind of close off the look a little bit, like so. And now this whole thing will pivot open and allow a shotgun shell to travel on inside of it, which is good because that's the whole intended goal of this piece. It's going to be held on with rubber bands through these gaps on either side of here, just like that, which is amazing. So thank you, Future Yeti, for showing me, Tim, and Dean a way to do that. I really wish that all 3 of you guys would come back. Well, I wish that a few of you guys would come back to the YouTube gun building scenes. I know that Dean is still in the works on some pretty cool upcoming projects that are going to take a long time of research and development. But you and Tim are just kind of out there, man. You guys haven't been around in ages. Wish you guys would come back. Miss you guys. Anywho, no time for that. Let's figure out how much longer this is supposed to be. All right, so this is where I want it. We're going to switch back to our bright red, the bright, nice standard red that Lego has always used, and we're going to begin the transition process into a nice sloped trigger guard. So that's going to go like that, and then we're going to use this maybe. I see that comes down too far. What if we switch to using this instead? I hear you. I hear you, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. Nope, 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 no one. Oh, so Dokkaebi and Vigil. I wanted to talk about them a little bit. They are amazing operators. I highly recommend. Right, I usually don't say things like this, but if you guys don't have them, you don't have the season pass or anything, if you financially can, go buy these people. These people are awesome. I love them both dearly. I like Vigil more than Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi's weapon is unique in the sense that it's like the first um, pattern. That's the first pattern rifle of that particular rifle in the game, which is really really cool. Uh, but there's moments in time where I'm like pulling the trigger on it, and someone just manages to slip through unscathed and doesn't die from what I'm doing, and that's kind of what I don't like about her gun. I like the ability with Vigil, at least, to have high damage but still have a decently sized magazine and follow-up shots behind it that I can use to kill someone if I miss the first couple shots. You have to be really, really accurate with both of their weapons, and if you aren't, you're kind of out of luck. And that's, generally speaking, my problems with both of them. As for the kind of like other weapons that they have, I love their shotgun. I really, really do. But I am super potato with it. So that's another one of those things where you just got to be good at it. And if you aren't, you're not going to have any fun. Um, it's super cool. It's a break action over under shotgun. That like where else in the game can you get that? And the answer is you can't. There's no other place in the game that you can have that. And I think that's fantastic for the game that you're given. The problem is you gotta actually be good with it, or you're not gonna do anything. You'll try to shoot someone twice, you'll miss both shots, and then you just end up dying, which is not fun, you know. So that's kind of where I lie on that. The good news is both of their sidearms are fantastic weapons. I like the CZ75 more than I do the SMG 12, I think. It's basically just an SMG 11 ripoff. My biggest complaint about it, in terms of the guns that they use, the CZ75 is amazing. It looks great. I like how they even added in the front foregrip magazine like it's supposed to look. But it's so good. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm a little tired. It's like almost too good in a sense, right? Like you guys ever play a game and you get just frustrated because you get killed by something and you're like, that was BS. That was too perfect. That's kind of how I feel about their weapons. I don't think it's like a bad thing. I think it's good that the new operators got fantastic weapons and they're kind of overpowered so that people are able to use operators like that to their fullest. But there's a certain point in time where things need to get nerfed because it's overused, it's overpowered, things like that. There's a time and a place for everything, and right now it's nerfing season. We need to just nerf these operators. I know that might be a very unpopular opinion. I say might. I know it's a very unpopular opinion. But how it kind of plays out in my eyes is that a lot of other operators aren't being played right now. There's no reason. There really isn't. Ella is still super OP. I just as far as I know, there's no magazine out there for the Scorpion Evo that has a 50-round magazine, 50 rounds in it. I've never seen that out of the Evo, and it bothers me slightly that they went with a 50-round magazine, because the thing is basically just an LMG. You literally just hold down the trigger and people die left and right. There's no, how do you put it? There's no accuracy with it, right? Like I said, you just hold the trigger down and you end up winning, basically, right? You guys remember when Mira first came out? Her Vector dump trucked people left and right. And their answer to nerfing her is that instead of giving her 3 black mirrors, they only gave her 2. Right? You remember when that happened? I don't want to say it's exactly the same with Ella right now, but that's kind of where I feel like we're at. All right? It doesn't make sense to put it where it's at, I guess. Is Ella needs a nerf. Dokkaebi and Vigil don't necessarily need a nerf just yet, but there will definitely be a point in time when they do. And when that point in time comes, it just needs to happen. Ubisoft just let it happen. They had their time in the spotlight. They did what they needed to do. It's time for other operators to come back into the limelight, back into the fold entirely. So hopefully that happens. All right, so this is the dirty secret of how to flip things upside down in a 1 stud high space. In case you guys were ever wondering, these are the old style hinges. There is a very slight difference between old style hinges and new style hinges that allow people to do this. Old style hinges, here I'll set up a little demonstration between the two. Where is you? You can see on the old style of hinges, it's a flat line all the way through. On the newer style of hinges, there's just a slight raise above the plates. And because of that slight raise, you can't do what I'm doing. So, if you have a whole bunch of old style hinges lying around, don't be afraid to use them to flip things upside down, because it works out great. I need this thing, and that will tell me how the shotgun shell will fit exactly right through there. As of right now, I want to give it another stud layer worth of room just to kind of settle in correctly where it should. Place this in here, and grab a 10 to place here and there. We can keep this upside down like so. So the shotgun shell should fit through that just fine. We'll go ahead and we're going to start wrapping around the front. We're going to use these just to make that process easier. This should be, we'll do a 4 and a 3. M1014, Rainbow Six Siege, FBI, Operators, Loadouts. The remaining ones, I should say. So that should fit through there. Hey, James. It should fit through there, no problem. Oh, Xbox is almost about to go idle. Where are we in terms of height? So the slope back here, like this portion right here is, I think, where I can start the portion of where the bolt is moving. So Let's finish doing the front. The front here is going to be, no. I need to finish the whole back section first. All right, so above the trigger and safety, the safety will go right through here. Is where the ending of the track for the charging handle is. So that right there, this should be 6 studs, just about, is the looks. And then the bolt itself, I'm going to go ahead and do an 8. We'll go 9. Just because the front of the ribbon thing, that the band that comes over here is I'm scratching my stomach, nowhere else, trust me. The band in front of where the barrel connects to the receiver, which is called the trunnion, is 2 studs. So that's why I want that. So this should start there. This should be fine in terms of its look, and then this will be filled in as we continue on. James, I appreciate that. Credit still goes to Wutu Kun. That's his in real life name. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that rightly. If I'm not, I'm sorry, my friend. But Shockwave 9001, he does a lot of different kind of really cool images on DeviantArt. So if you guys haven't seen any of them, I suggest you go check him out because he makes really, really cool DeviantArt images of these things. The DMR is my more favorite of the two, simply because I understand the whole need for a carry handle and why the carry handle is there. But the DMR looks far better than the actual Greyhound itself, the battle rifle. Couldn't think of the name. All right, the front barrel band looking thing right here. Where's the top of this? We are currently at level with this, so we should do one more of these, and then we'll wrap off the top like so. That. I might drop this down by just 1 stud, or 1 plate length, height, whatever you want to call these things. It can get kind of complicated at times. Drop that down to about there. That looks much better, to be honest. And then we will be doing a full height of building to create that right there. We will jack this up to an 8 to overlap these pieces as needed. And then, oh, that's brick pieces. We don't want brick pieces. We don't need brick pieces. If this lines up like it does, we'll replace this with a 3 for the sake of stability. And then the bolt should end right about there. So this is a 6, and the longest plate that they make is 12. So this should fit perfectly right here. Just like so. We'll go ahead and we'll extend it out just 1 more. I did 2 more, didn't I? Yeah, I just need 1 more on extension. To about there, and that should be enough room for the bolt to travel through here like it needs to. And then we need so that goes to there. We're going to go ahead and overlap this like so, and we're going to build up this side by 2 plate heights. That fits there, and then we're going to immediately just take and Control-CV, flip this on around like so, and then basically just come through and fill in the rest of it with plates as needed. So we're going to switch over to using the 4-long versions of what we were previously using. just like so. And we're going to end it right there. We're then going to grab these. Excuse me. And do something like this. Let's just see how this looks. Like so. That seems to be too much of an angle. I think three studs is about where we want that. Or the 3 stud long versions of what I was just using. So we need to flip some things around. So this is connected as it should be. We're going to go ahead and delete that. Oh, wait. We're not deleting. We're just hiding. Delete these. Oh, wait. All right. Delete that. All right. I'm going to drop. Where's my keyboard? Drop this to a 10. Right there. Should be fine. We're going to make this one right there. There's that piece and that as well. Wait. I'm flipping this right side up. What am I doing? I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. Let's go back. Back. All right. All we had to do was delete these. I don't know what I was thinking right there. Just delete these two and then replace these with the L's. I don't know why I was thinking we had to go through a more difficult process than what we really had to. So move this back so that these all overlap and connect with one another in a more fit connection. Grabbing the wrong one. Put the 4 plus the 3. So there we go. All right, that does what we wanted to do. Then we grab. Okay, so the 3 is going to start here. We're going to grab these here, put here and here. So let's go ahead and delete that on out and replace it with this. Grab this, place it here and here. Grab one of these, place it here. Like so. All right, that should be the more appropriate angle that we are looking for in that area. I'm still not wearing any pants, but I really want to drink. So do you think, can you guys see all the way over there? Ooh, so you can kind of see already over there, and I really don't want to get demonetized. I could care less that you guys see me in my underwear. Obviously, right? I went to gym class in middle school. You had to change in front of a man. I am comfortable in my sexuality to know that I am not a homosexual male. Not that there's anything against those types of people, but I'm not for sale or anything like that. In case you guys, were a little curious. I simply just, the demonetization is not a fun thing, right? I don't want to end up on drama alert for stream fails because got my ass hanging out or something. All right, so full 8 stud wide opening here is fantastic. The whole upside down receiver I think is working out just fine. I wish that they made these types of pieces in a nice straight angle. So using cheese slips probably would have worked better for that, but the cheese slopes are just too short. If they were taller, that would be the better choice for that angle. Woo! God. Oh, crack my back. Alright. So that is that. Now we start work on building the tactical rail and sights that go up on top. It's pretty simple. We're just going to copy paste a whole bunch of these down the top. Boop, 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 boop. Missed that one. Boop, boop, boop. And one more. And then we're going to come over into templates and we're going to find this. What type of rails are these? Is this the split rails? These are split rails. We're going to go ahead and delete out all of that. And this is now the rail that we want to use. So we're going to go ahead and we've already used dark red. I haven't used any of the orange. We'll use the orange. Control C, Control V. And now we just come through and do that as needed. Boop, 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 boop. Right about here-ish. So starting here and going to there is going to be the rear iron sight. So we're going to build it using side building techniques, I think would be fine building it. So basically we're going to take in, go back over here, should be in red. We're going to take in use U. We're going to move U back for reasons, aesthetic reasons. And then we're going to build a 4, 4, 3, 3, like so. I'm going to remove U and U, and instead replace it with a 2 and 2, rhymed. And then grab that. No. Switch these. We're going to switch them over to too high. Should probably switch quite a few of these over to too high, to be honest. So then the back of this sight can be modeled using the wing pieces like so, but turned up, I think is the best way to do it. So if we actually delete this piece and we actually move these forward, that should look better, because then you don't see the plate, all you see is that. So I like that. That's fine. Like so. And then if we take and delete that piece and that piece and replace it instead with that and that, we should be able to take these same pieces and create the lesser of angles to make that. And I think that is fine for the side. What's this little side detail? Let me quickly buy a sight for the M1014 so I can zoom in on that portion of it. It doesn't really matter the sight that we put on it. I'm going to put a reflex just because. Reflex is probably one of my more favorite sights in the game. Okay, so it's a small screw on this side. Let's get rid of that, and that. Where's my keyboard? I keep thinking it's down there for some reason. Come through and we're going to smooth this out as much as possible. Place this here. Place this here. Boom. And boom, like so. And that should leave us with room to work on getting the actual sight on the inside of that. And then the whole little screw that's going on this side is going to just be a pretty simple little. I feel as if that's a little too big, but that's the shape. It's just too big. So we'll just do this right here. That. As for the sight itself, that's going to be slightly more complicated. So I'm going to do. How can I do? Oh God, I got a blanket on. How can I do 2 small dots, but still have a? We do this here and that there. Take it 3 here, right? And then, yeah, we got to build a tire in the middle of that. What's the standard tire I would use? This would be it. Oh, yeah, that's not fun. Okay. So is there one that just fits in the middle? Do I really have to use that one? Is there another tire that this thing fits on? None of those. Fit on there? No. Fit on there? No. There? No, no. This one? Ah, there we go. Okay, that helps. And then we can just kind of plug that in there. And then we should be able to take and place this here. Place this there. Oh, wait, actually, we'll take and place this back one. Delete that out. Put this here. Delete that out. And then I think one more should do it. Delete that out. Grab this. Place it there. Oh God, we can come down one. We should be able to come down one instead. Grab that. Bring that down instead. There we go. All right. That should do for the rear sight. Obviously, in real life, this could go down even further, but I think that's about as good as I will get it in LED. So these 2 pieces can be that color. We can place this here, and basically this serves as my 2 red dots that I was talking about before. Hey, Merry Christmas to you too, Atticus. Actus, I believe. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I have a bad habit of not being able to pronounce a lot of people's names, and I apologize for that. Alright, so now it's just all about getting this sight into this base, and as it stands now, it would not fit in there. Hey, Cod. Oh, wow, my friend. That there, place that there. Grab this, place it here, place this here. Quick function check. That's not connected to anything, and that isn't connected to anything either. We can fix that on this side out here. I never really used shotguns in Rainbow Six because I am a console pleb, level 116, all base ops unlocked, and then I have Cav, Volk, Eva, Ella, BB. Who's BB? Oh, Buck and Habana. Yet I'm still trash. I wouldn't worry too much. I am also a pretty bad player of Rainbow Six Siege, so like I said, don't feel too bad. I am not a good player. My sister pretty much carried my elo. Is that the word for it? I think that's elo. Into last season, I was gold 3, I think, when she played ranked, and that was my sister playing. That wasn't me playing. So if you kind of get the point there, I'm bad myself, basically. So No reason to feel too bad. Oh, Blackbeard, shit. Oh, I couldn't even think of Blackbeard. Yeah, I totally forgot that he was even a thing, to be honest. I don't play Blackbeard at all. I really don't like Blackbeard. Um, it, his shield is nice because you're avoiding headshots, but my reaction time is so slow as is that it really doesn't do anything for me because people just readjust their aim and then light me up in the groin regions. So it doesn't really do anything for me personally. I'm also glad that I'm not godlike because then I'd be placed in the matches with other people who are actually good, and then I'd have to deal with that, and I don't think I could deal with that because that sounds like a pain in my ass a lot. I'm glad there are some matches where like I can go fuse and play with his right shield and pistol and not like just suck ass miserably, and I don't have to feel bad about it because I actually did good. I got a triple kill the other day using him and his pistol. I felt amazing, but you can't do that in most matches. I think what happened with him is pretty sad. Is a good way to put it. I think people kind of when he first came out, he was super OP, and people responded very negative to him. Kind of because they just didn't have the right mindset to counter him. They just kind of, it's pretty easy to counter because all you do is throw grenades at him, C4, and you should have that anyways because most recently the pistols in the game, because of their buffs, they're like godly OP now. Yeah, Ella is. I just got done talking about Ella a little while ago. Ella is super OP right now. They did the same thing that they did to Mira, where their guns are super, super overpowered, but instead of nerfing the guns, the thing that they nerf is their abilities. It just doesn't make sense. Like when Mira first came out, she was overpowered. So instead of nerfing her Victor, they nerfed how many mirrors she could have. They just bumped her down from from 3 mirrors to 2 mirrors instead of focusing on the thing that is actually the problem. My problem with Ella isn't that she does too much damage or her fire rate. My problem with her is that her gun has 51 rounds available. She's got 50 rounds in a magazine and then 1 in the chamber. 51 in total. So she just comes around a corner and holds down the trigger, and then 2 seconds later you're dead because she doesn't have to actually aim. She just holds down the trigger, and you just die. And that's super frustrating to me. It's not fun at all, right? It's fun when I'm playing her and I'm able to do it to other people, but the second someone does it to me, not fun. Ella, Zofia are gods. Their pistol sights are ridiculously good because you can actually see through them. I think what bothers me more about Ella is that Ella isn't the only person in the game to have an SMG with 50 rounds in the magazine. I kind of realized this today. Literally today, this hit me while I was playing. Jackal has a 50 round PDW, but no one ever uses it because it's bad. Right? Jackal's PDW is literally what's going to happen to Ella's Scorpion, hopefully. I shouldn't say hopefully. I should say it's what is going to happen probably. I see in the foreseeable future a nerf to how many rounds she can hold the magazine. We'll probably jump it on down to like 35, maybe 40. The actual model in game itself isn't even. like that big of a magazine. The actual model in game is only like a standard 30-round capacity magazine. I don't understand why they went with how much they went with in the first place. I really don't. It doesn't make sense to me. His PDW is good because on close quarters you don't want his assault rifle. You want his PDW. You have 50 rounds on tap. You can dump truck through people no problem. My problem with his PDW is that if you never get inside, it's useless. You're not going to shoot someone from all the way across the map with his PDW and destroy them instantly unless you get a headshot and you're a headshot god. But those people are few and far between. Like if every kill you're getting is like headshots, it's a little suspicious. So I don't think they make 50 round Scorpion mags though. 50 round Evo magazine. If they do, this only once. Yeah, they got drum mags. But I don't see any actual drum. CZ, here's the actual CZ USA. So here's the official website. This should have all the magazines listed. 20 round, 10 round, 30 round. That's the official CZ rounds. All the drum, like, see, I wouldn't be mad if they took and instead of using a standard stick magazine, they switched it over to an actual drum mag. But instead, they're sticking with the stick mag, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Anywho, this is what we have of the receiver so far for the M1014. It looks absolutely fantastic. I'm loving the way that this looks. For the sake of kind of completing and getting rid of this these studs back here, we're just going to kind of wrap this on up using some basic bricks, just like that. And then this stuff as well on top of this, we're just going to wrap on up. Just nice and like that. Hopefully all of that should be connected together aside from that, which is good. This should all be its own piece. And then the bolt that we're about to build should also be its own piece. So we can go ahead and work on building the bolt. So the bolt is pretty simple. It's a bolt. Like, I don't know. Bolts are not a secret at all. They're pretty simple to build, to be completely honest. So that's going to be a start. Let's choose a color different than that red and dark red. We'll go with this orange right here. Because of the nature of how this is about to be, we're going to delete that and that. We're going to replace them with red ones of... Where you at, fam? Oh yeah, you're up here. Red ones of these. Like so. And then when we take and place you into here, you should be able to move back all the way unrestricted, like I need you to. Ella, guns, 10 out of 10. Gadget, 9 out of 10. Looks pretty, yeah, it's true. Sophia's guns, 8.75 out of 10. Gadget ability, 10 out of 10. Looks, 7.9999. So let's discuss Ella first. I think her gadget is not 9 out of 10. My problem with her gadget is the effect wears off super fast. It doesn't make you tilt all over the place like an Echo drone will, and you only get 3 of them. So the nerf that she actually received when she came out was to drop that down from 5, I believe. My problem with 3 is that you really can't do anything with 3. Her other portion of her ability is to be able to detonate one when she's downed. That kind of situation doesn't really help me. I think what should happen is Zofia and Ella's down states should be switched. I think Sophia should get Ella's down state, simply because if there's a Caveira on top of you, that situation might actually work for once. There's been so many times where I've detonated my final concussion blast grenade thing as Ella while I'm down, and the other person's been blinded, but they still kill me, and none of my teammates ever come and kill them. I think if it was Caveira, you know, if you're playing as Sophia and you're able to detonate one with the Caveira on top of you trying to interrogate you, I think that would be better than that. Zophia's guns, I don't like her assault rifle. I love her LMG. I play with her assault rifle on occasion because it's easier and faster to reload than the LMG. My problem with Zofia in general is that she's another Ash, right? Ubisoft and the studio who produces Rainbow Six Siege wants there to be 100 total operators by the end of the game's life cycle. And even then, on their official Twitter, they said there's no reason to stop at 100. 100 is just their current goal. So there's a lot of overlap. The problem is Zofia is really, really good, and it kind of outweighs Ash. You get basically what Ash has, but it's faster. You get 4 concussion grenades and 2 breaching charges, essentially. She's super, super good. She's just slightly slower than Ash, and her guns aren't as good as Ash's, and that's what bothers me slightly. I like the innovation that Zofia brings, but if you have a Zofia, an Ash, Thermite, and Habana on one team, you're not going to have anywhere left to defend. They're going to tear through all your defenses, no problem. They're going to rush through, and especially with Ash. Ash rushing is really annoying. I don't like Ash rushing, and you're just going to get kind of screwed over. Ubisoft has problems with bullet count versus actual possible capacity. IQ's 5.52 has a 20-round mag, but it holds 30. Ella's mag isn't that big of a surprise. That's a fair point. I did notice that as well. I do like the SIG 5.52 though in this game. It's nice. Zofia should revive herself to 5 to 10 HP. I'd agree with that. I think the whole 1 HP thing points to the idea that it's a super, super risky thing to do, right? It's supposed to be like this last-ditch thing. You're the last person on the team. It's 2-2. You're the last person you have to revive because you got down by some stupid-ass frost trap. Hate frost traps when you're the last person and it fucking snaps on you. Hate those damn things. But what are you going to do with 1 health? Someone could sneeze on you. Someone could throw a flashbang at you and hit you with it, and you would die. And that's why I don't like the 1 health thing. 5 would be fine for balance, but nerf her Scorpion. Bring it down to like 45, 40 rounds in the magazine, and I think bringing her grenades back up to 5 would be fine. Hey man, no, thank you for coming out, Cog Cooler. No problem that you leave in 10 minutes. It doesn't bother me. I understand it's Christmas tomorrow. Even I have to be up pretty early. I got to be up around 7:30 tomorrow. I actually have to go to my girlfriend's house. She's actually not with me. She lives with me. Pseudo lives with me, and she's not with me because she's actually at her grandparents' house getting ready for Christmas. She's basically wrapping everyone's gifts that haven't gotten anything wrapped just yet. So that's the reason she's not with me, in case you guys were wondering. So yeah. We have to build something. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. So the charging handle does this interesting shape, and the piece that I thought about using is somewhere. I think it's in here. Yeah, here it is, right here. I was going to use this thing. So this is the palm tree trunk, and it was the piece that I was going to use because you can switch these two, and you can bump them up just like that, and it's perfect. for what I need it. The problem is I don't know how I'm going to connect it. So I think that's fine for how I want to connect it. We'll flatten it out just like that. So now I got to figure out how to get that in there. So we'll probably use that piece, like so. Yeah, I think that's fine. It just needs to slide back and forth through that gap. So if we need to enlarge this gap, we can do that as needed. So we're actually going to build around this. What's it like being in a relationship? It's a pain, right? So I don't mean that negatively. There's a lot to learn. There's two different questions here, and these are both really loaded questions. So I'm going to take them one at a time. Being in a relationship is difficult, especially if your significant other has a different mindset than you do. So I've grown up in a more conservative household, and she grew up in a far more progressive liberal household. That doesn't mean both of us are far left and far right. She simply has different ideas about things than I do. Her stance on gun control is a completely different stance than my stance. I personally think that the regulations we have now can be improved upon, but I don't think they can be improved upon too much. I don't think they're going to really do anything in the long run. She, on the other hand, believes that more regulation is going to decrease crime. That's a really basic way of putting it, but sometimes if you're not willing to compromise on these types of things, you can result in some really, really bad arguments with the other person. And that's where it becomes a pain, because you have to do one of two things. You either learn to compromise with the other person and go, you know, you're right, we do need more regulations, but we need regulations in this way. We need this, and then particularly name it. So me and her, we've come to the compromise that we do need more gun regulation, but we need it in the form of better mental health care. So if we get better mental health care, then we basically solve the problems of people who are disturbed in some way or jaded that the government has done something to them. We prevent more issues. That's somewhere that we can compromise. If you don't learn to do that, you end up getting in fights a lot. So I'm not going to name shame, but some of my older friends, we're no longer friends, they were in a relationship, but the relationship was incredibly toxic. It was consistent fighting over and over and over and over and over all the time. This person believed that Mexicans should be deported right now, even if they're United States citizens. All of them should be gone because, oh, sorry, that was really loud. I apologize. Mexicans should be gone no matter what because they are taking all the jobs in this country, so on and so forth, right? And then the other person who was of Hispanic descent was like, no, why would you tell someone who's legally been here all their life because they were born here that they can't be here anymore? And they would fight consistently all the time because of that. And that's, I don't want to say the relationship is over, but I think it's getting to the point where they want to break up with one another simply because they fight all the time, back and forth, just like that. And none of them are ever willing to compromise with each other. Yes and no to that. I appreciate the sentiment that you're bringing with that. How do I tell a girl that you like her? It's pretty basic. You just tell her. I really got to get a drink, but I'm not wearing pants. So what I'm going to do is drag you guys off screen so that you guys don't have to see if I do, in fact, slip up and then get a drink. And then I'll come back to explain more about what I mean about that you just tell her. All right. Hey, Raymond. Alright. Official drink sponsor of the stream. I will pull you guys back down. Just give me one moment. Is Pepsi. We are doing this right here. Pepsi Cherry. Or Dr. Pepper Cherry. Sorry, there is a Pepsi Cherry. I don't like Pepsi in particular. Dr. Pepper is great. But Dr. Pepper can get a little more. So you spice it up with cherry. Because, you know, that's how things go. Alright. So, how do you tell someone that you like them? That's pretty simple. You just ask, man. I'm going to say this, and I want to preface it by saying that I'm not bragging. This is not something to brag about. I've been through as many relationships as there are United States presidents. For those of you who aren't keeping track of how many presidents there's actually been, there's been 45. I've been through 45 different relationships, all with different women, and some of those women multiple times. Again, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm simply saying it because I tried different things with pretty much all of them. Some of them I approached outright and said, hey, do you want to go out sometime, head on a movie? What type of movies do you like? Do you like War Horse? Do you like Twilight at all? Do you like war movies? Is Dunkirk more your thing? Or are you kind of a little nerdy like Star Wars? What do you want to watch? You know, I'll pay for you if you don't mind. My dad has to drive me. A lot of these relationships I hadn't driven in a while, so I didn't have my license or my permit or anything, so I couldn't drive. So you know, parents have to get involved in a lot of these. Some of them I didn't outright tell them that I liked them. I had some of them that actually approached me about liking me. There was a lot of people in my high school that liked me but never told me, but I still had plenty of chance with. I'm not particularly the most handsome person in the world. You can see I'm not. But if your personality is there, it doesn't matter because you have a personality. I know it's like really cliche to say that, but it's the truth in a sense. So this current girlfriend, my approach to her was something that I had only done before in things that I would call flings. So flings are basically you get together with someone, you do some nasty things with one another, catch my drift, and then you're done. That's it. It's over. My approach with her was to start that, but it wasn't to end with that either. My intention was to begin dating her, and that's where I ended up. My opening sentence to her when I started talking to her again after high school was, "Hey, do you want to blank?" F word. Excuse me. By the way, sorry. That's how I started talking to her again. That is a very blunt way of not getting what you want. I kept persisting. She gave me a list of things to work on. She wanted me to get my driver's license. She wanted me to get a job so that we were able to go out and do things. And then she wanted me to take her on a picnic. Some girls want to go on picnics. Some girls want to go to the movies. Every girl is different. It's up to you as the male to figure out what she wants. We'll talk about the 1911 in a moment, Raymond. This girl, she likes to be treated well. She likes to go out to places. I don't have to spend money on her as long as we go out somewhere. If we go out to Kissimmee, it's like 45 minutes away from here, but it's a really popular Pokemon spot. I don't have to spend any money except drive out there. It's 45 minutes away. We can play Pokemon all day. She'd be happy, delighted. Some girls like that, some girls don't. I'm getting kind of sidetracked. How do you tell the girl that you like her comes down to how much of a man are you? It also depends on the woman. Some women, you can just slip a note in their locker at school with your name on it and be like, hey, I think you're really chill. We should hang out sometime. If you don't mind, text me back at this number. Slip your number on a piece of paper, slide that in her locker, and see what she says. If you don't want to go kind of down the cliche route, you can just approach her in class one day if you see her at school or something. You could ask her outright. You'd be like, hey, are you doing something this weekend? If you aren't, do you want to do this? And then from there, it depends on her response. If her response is, oh, well, I'm doing this weekend, and she seems to be dodging it a little bit, she's not interested. I think at that point, it's best to just kind of move on and not even wait on her to come around to who you are. She's not worth your time. If her response is, I'm doing this weekend, but how does this day sound? That's where you start to get a little bit more hopeful. She is willing to entertain going on a date with you because she is sensible enough to see who you are as a human being before she decides whether or not she doesn't want to spend the rest of her life with you, understandably. There's a couple different responses after that. It's something that you have to continuously work on, and it depends on the woman as well, her personality, things like that. So like I said, just outright tell her. Just say, do you want to go on a date? That's the easiest way to say it because she's gonna know what you mean. If you walk up to someone and you ask them, do you want to go on a date? That implies that they like you. They have some sort of affection for you. And thusly, she kind of catches your drift after that. Hopefully she says yes. Good luck with your endeavors. So M1014. So right now what we're doing is we are actually working on the Rainbow Six Siege FBI operators in total. They're basically all their loadouts together. So I've already done Ash's entire loadout. So doing her entire loadout meant building the model of 1911. Thank you, man. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, my friends. Happy Holidays. Thanks so much for coming out, Kako. Thanks for listening to me. It's not every day that someone listens to me, so I appreciate it, my man. Good luck on the women. Have fun. Anyhow, this is the 1911, Raymond. I think this 1911 turned out really, really good for what I wanted it to. The slide moves back a total of 4 studs in total. It looks fantastic. There's a lot going on here. This is a 3-stud wide magazine, 3-stud wide pistol grip with just a little bit of plate working here for side panels, and this was a super complicated model to build, but I'm super happy with how this turned out because it looks wonderful. I love this thing. But yeah, so I had to build this for Ash's loadout, so this is what we have out of it. I think this is probably the best 1911 I'll ever make. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It just is. It really is. The alternate option to this is Christopher Hotman's 1911 and then slightly modifying it so that it was bigger. But I don't think I have to do that because this is a good-looking 1911. James, I understand that 1911 mags only need to be 2x4. We discussed this on Google Hangouts, but part of this was figuring out a good system to do a 3-stud wide grip with side panels on it that flare out just slightly past the 4-stud wide, and then be able to use 3-stud wide magazines. When I get into doing the other weapons from Rainbow Six Siege and the pistol category, a lot of them will be using 3-stud wide magazines. So figuring out a system to incorporate 3-stud wide magazines is really, really helpful, to be completely honest. So that's the primary reason that this magazine is 3 studs wide. So yeah, there's 1911, Raymond. So your request has been built. This is the M1014 receiver, though, and I think that it looks wonderful. Hey, Spencer. It does make, I want to say base. Base implies that I can just take the 1911 and just kind of change it a little bit to make it look like something else. The idea and the concepts for how I actually built the pistol grip is what I'm doing. It uses some Technic and some of the newer pieces of Technic and a modified version of what Lego Guns Trilogy did on his Glock, in a sense, to do it entirely. So yeah, that's like, come on. This looks absolutely fantastic because there's so much going on. And I think what really ties it all together and what really draws the eye is how almost flawless this is right here. I couldn't have chosen any better pieces to use for this thing. And that's what I really, really like about this. So the next portion of this is to go ahead and build a trigger mechanism, which should be pretty fun. This is, in fact, the FBI loadout. Hey, look at you, fam. You got it right off the bat. Yep. So we've there's 7 guns in total for the FBI loadout. We've done the UMP45 and the Modern Warfare 2 builds, so I don't have to build that. For Ash's loadout, we did the G36C, the R4C, and the 1911, and then Aspiring Artist copied Bakker's, or Leo's, FN57. So I have already got 5 out of the 7 weapons, which leaves us with 2. I need to do the SIG 556XI, or L, whichever one it is, for Thermite, and then I need to do the M1014 for Thermite, Pulse, and Castle. And then we'll be done with all the FBI loadouts. From now on, I don't intend on making the gadgets for operators. Building the gadgets for the SAS operators was pretty easy. You had the mute jammers, which were simple, really simple. You had smoke canisters, which were, again, just simple, pretty easy. You had Thatcher's EMP grenades, which were easy, and then you had Sledge's sledgehammer, which was easy. All 4 of those are easy. But then once we get to FBI, we would have to do Thermite's breaching charge, which we've done the standard breaching charge before, so that wouldn't be too much of an issue. But then you have to do Ash's, or we already did Ash's grenade launcher, so we don't have to worry about that. Then you would have to do Pulse's scanner, I guess is what you would call it. You'd have to do his scanner. It's not too bad. It just kind of rotates on around. We could do that using side building techniques, so on and so forth. It wouldn't be too hard. Then you get the castle. How would you do castle? How I would do castle is use a whole bunch of hinge pieces and plate building. The problem is it's not gonna look good. And that's kind of where I don't want to do any more of the whole operator gadgets themselves. So that's the decision as to why I don't want to do that. So, in case y'all were wondering, we're just going to delete this out because this will provide an easy place for me to throw on some Technic pieces. Build this up. What about the 5.7, Spencer? Because we've built the 5.7. And by we, I mean Aspiring Artist and Leo, otherwise known as Bakker. I have his 5.7, basically verbatim. It's a really cool thing for Aspiring Artist to do for me. I appreciate that. I wish he was in stream. I could thank him again, because that saved me a lot of time and a lot of headache. Because the 1911 looks fantastic, but it is it's not as good looking as other people's 1911s, and because of that, it's slightly disappointing, to be honest. I really wanted it to be, you know, top of the line, looks really good. I think it gets the overall look of 1911 down, but it's not perfect. I think that kind of bothers me a little bit, you know? That makes sense to me. I figured that makes sense to y'all. That's all good, man. I know you didn't know. It's all good. I don't mean to like rant on you or anything. All right. So for a trigger, pretty basic. Just come straight down like this, and then where is? Yeah, you right here. Take this on down. Come on, fit there. Go where you need to go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Take this right here. This isn't really like that flat of a trigger though. It really curves back. It should be like fitting right through here. Oh, what I could do. I'm actually going to use another Future Yeti thing. I'm actually going to use Future Yeti's design for a trigger. He used ratcheted hinge pieces. Oh wait, no, we can't use ratcheted. We'll use where's the clip piece? This piece. This piece. So what he did was he did this followed by something like this to get a bend in the trigger that still looked really, really good. So I actually really like that design personally. So we're gonna do that. It depends on the weapon. I'm gonna let you know that it's a shit ton. Someone mowing their lawn? Dude, it's like completely dark outside. It's super weird. For just what we have here, this in itself is 347 pieces. Just that is 347 pieces, which is quite a bit of Lego. To be honest, that's like obviously it's quite a bit of Lego. It's not exactly cheap to get that many pieces. To be honest with you. Can we switch this around? Is there a way to switch that? Let's use this, and then place that there. There we go. It's that. I think the Divinity Edition AR-15 I did used somewhere around 5,000 pieces. I think. We can check real quick. Should take me all of a couple seconds to find it. What's the biggest gun I've ever done? We'll grab the AR-15 Divinity Edition to just see exactly how many pieces that we used. Oh, I'm sorry. I was way off. This is 2,068 pieces in total. This is nowhere near like one of the biggest ones. Let's check out a sniper rifle. Someone has like a the lawnmower out for some reason. Let's check out, is the Divinity Edition M40A5 in here? Or M40A3 in here? Yes, you are. Let's grab this and see how much this one is. $1,279. But I do have guns that are in the 5,000s in terms of pieces. I was just looking at one earlier today. Yeah, we should look at these. Yeah. We should have those downloaded. But anyhow, we'll download it again to make it easier. 2,000. So yeah, it depends. Boop, 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 boop. Do you plan on doing all of the classes in Rainbow Six Siege? I think this is the only game where I actually will probably stick to doing that, because this game is going to last a long time. If they plan on adding 100, I do very few LMGs, so not too many LMGs. What am I doing? I got on my phone to do so. Oh yeah, I was just going to do math. They plan on having a total of 100 operators in game. As of right now, we're going to count how many operators in game, because I don't know off the top of my head, so we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way to count. 4 times 4, so that's 16. 16 to 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So there's 36 operators in game. Calculator. So they plan on having 100. We're going to subtract 36. That leaves 64 left. 8 come out every single year. That's 8 years down the road, they're going to finally hit their 100 operator goal. Right? So this game is going to last for at least 8 more years, supposedly. We'll see. Right? If that is the case, then doing all the operators' weapons now is better. I also like doing it because this game treats weapons more realistic than Call of Duty does, or Counter-Strike does. You can't aim down your sights in Counter-Strike. That's annoying. Hate it. It's burning passion. You can aim down sights in this game. Just because you aim down sights with a shotgun doesn't mean it decreases the spread like Call of Duty does, which is annoying. They have different shotguns in the game for different reasons. Dokkaebi and Vigil shotgun is a slug shotgun. It's meant for long range, but you have to be dead accurate or you're fucked. Simple as that. All the other shotguns in the game are buckshot. Easy and great for destroying walls. You just pull the trigger each and every single time with Kapkan Tachanka or Ella with her shotgun to just blow people away. The 612 is kind of the same thing. You just have less ammo on tap. There are minor issues. Obviously, the 50-round magazine is kind of really annoying. Arma? My problem with Arma is that Arma takes a lot to get into. And I've never actually played Arma, but from my understanding, there is a lot of controls that go on with Arma. Like the buttons that you use to get into different positions can get confusing according to other people. Again, I haven't played the game, so take this with a grain of salt. I don't obviously know what I'm talking about. The whole combat system is really realistic. Like if you are not on top of your game, you're just dead, like almost instantly. There's a mouse in my room right now that he's kind of crawling in the walls. So if there's a really loud snapping noise, it's because he just got caught in the trap that's set in my room. Rainbow Six Siege is just easier to get into. There's a learning curve with Rainbow Six Siege, but I don't feel like Rainbow Six Siege takes years of practice to get into. I feel like Arma takes years of practice to get into. I also play on console, and I don't think Arma comes out on console. I have a decent PC. Looking right at it, my girlfriend actually plays on my PC monitor. I use an HDMI splitter to switch between the two whenever I don't need the Xbox and I need the PC. I have a decent PC. I think it could run Arma, but I don't play games on mouse and keyboard. The last game that I played on mouse and keyboard was Civilization 5, whichever the new one was. I think it's 5. If it wasn't 5, then it was 6. Literally the brand new one. I bought it when it first came out. I played it for all of 5, maybe 6 hours, and then it just stopped. Team Fortress 2, I played religiously for a long, long time, but never after that I stopped. Just there's a certain point in time where new classes weren't being added to the game. The only thing new were items, guns. The community made maps were cool, but they were never a selling point for me. I could care less about maps. If your game already has good maps, which the game already did, what's the point of adding community maps in? Game mode diversity, I play the same game modes anyways. Team deathmatch, that hated payload, could not stand payload. Um, Intelligence or capture the intelligence, whatever the other one was, I played that one religiously too. It was either team deathmatch or capture the intelligence, one of those two. What I played. Other than that, I could care less, to be honest. This game is more interesting because there's a lot of diversity in the world. If you guys have never seen this website, I highly recommend you check it out. But there's this website called world.guns.ru. It is one of my most favorite websites to go to because it has so many weapons on it. I'm going to give you guys so many resources for looking at guns. World.guns.ru, Forgotten Weapons, Military Arms Channel, Tim from Military Arms Channel, Hickok 45, In Range TV, which is a subsidiary of Forgotten Weapons. I do the Firearm Blog TV simply because they got their hands on the new FKBRNO field pistol, which looks really cool, and I wanted to know more about it, so I followed them for that. But there are all these resources to see all these new innovative guns and things that you just never seen before. So like a gun that I got introduced from playing Rainbow Six Siege is actually Vigil's primary weapon, his K1A. I've never seen that before. I know the South Korean military uses a subsidiary version of the M4, but I didn't know it looked particularly like this, and because of that, it just kind of stuck with me in a sense. I just played a lot of Unturned and some Team Fortress 2. No one turned. I really never came to me. None of that. The amount of diversity in CTUs is amazing as well. You have pretty much every corner of the world represented right now. I think the only country not represented stupid mouse is somewhere over there. I think the only continent not represented is the African continent. So you have the SAS in Europe, you have the FBI in America, you have the Spetsnaz in Russia, the GIGN from France in Europe, the GSG-9 from Germany in Europe, the Canadian JTF-2, I think, from Canada and the Americas, the Navy SEALs from America, the Chinese operators, I forget their call signs, from China, obviously, the BOP operators from South America. Where's Jackal from? Where is Jackal from? Blah, blah, blah. How am I going down? Where's GEO from? Oh, Spain. Okay, so Spain. Well, that's where he was born. Where's Mira from? I should check that too. She also from Spain? Yeah, she's from Spain. Okay, so GEO is from Spain, another country in Europe. Echo and Habana are from Japan's Self-Defense Force, SDF, or SAT. I think it's SAT. Yeah, SAT, Special Assault Team. Sorry, almost got it. We've already talked about Boat. Zofia from the Polish Grom unit. Again, that's in Europe. And then Dokubi and Vigil, who are from yeah, Korea. I forget their unit name. 707 Joint JB JBT. Let me check. 707 Special Mission Battalion, SNB. I was close. But there's no African country, which is interesting. I don't know if there's any African CTUs. I think there is. Yeah, anyhow. What's my favorite gun? Um, I, I don't know. There are so many interesting and unique and cool looking guns that I'm a huge fan of. Um, AKs right now are my favorite rifle. I don't like AR-15s. AR-15s are just too basic for me. Uh, Everyone has an AR-15. AR-15s are so stale at times. They're all like the same. There's nothing special about them. The only thing that you actually change about it is you slap on the handguard, you slap on a stock, you slap on a pistol grip, and then it's yours. That's pretty much it. That's all that you change on an AR-15. AKs are different because they actually try to innovate. There's really cool AKs out there that are different and new. The most recent one that I could think of is the MAW, and I don't think it's made by Kalashnikov, but it's an AK pattern rifle, but it's in a completely new polymer body. So imagine taking like a G36 and making it look like an AK, and that's what the MAW is. So that's really nice. Handguard wise, the thing that I'm looking at the most right now is between two of them. Um, Mouse roaming around again. We have the Hudson M9, I think is what it's called. It's a modular pistol where you can switch out like the frame for to accept different magazines, different calibers as you see fit, kind of thing. Well, it's higher end, but it's supposed to have like dual recoil springs that are in front of the actual trigger guard, so that it reduces the overall felt recoil. To me, it's just because it's newer and innovative. There's dual recoil springs and it's supposed to be less recoil. I'm a little recoil shy. I'm not entirely recoil shy. I just don't recoil as nice not to have. Hey, babe. And then you have my all-time favorite pistol right now is by and far has to be the Maxim 9, the integrally suppressed 9mm pistol that takes I think it takes Glock mags. I think so. Absolutely amazing pistol. Integrally suppressed 9mm pistol. That thing is awesome. I don't have to go out and attach this big ass suppressor to my weapon and make it like, yeah. I love it. It'd have to be a PTRD anti-tank rifle and an ASVAL. My one problem with the PTRD is that it's one shot only, I believe. As for I like anti-tank rifles. Don't get me wrong. I just don't. I want capacity, right? Excuse me, if there's a tank coming at me, right, and I got one shot, I'm not gonna be confident at all. I need to have like a magazine of more rounds to hit that damn tank and make sure that it's not going to come at me anymore. Because it's me versus a tank, and that tank's going to win unless I'm able to get off more shots and disable it quicker. So magazines would be great. ASVAL is super cool. I like the ASVAL in concept because it's integrally suppressed with this huge ass suppressor that fits right on it. It shares its kind of concept and design with the VSS Venturas, but the VSS Venturas is specifically designed for DMR sniping role. Hey, Wimpai, long time no see, my friend. But I like the idea that you could have this super quiet soldier with this ammunition that's going to tear through people. The ASVAL ammunition is no joke. It'll destroy someone, no problem. The only downside to the ASVAL is that you have to, in order for there to be leaps and bounds and performance seen on the battlefield for the Russian military would have to re-equip everyone with it. As of right now, the ASVAL only serves with pretty much special forces units, and even then in very limited numbers because they're expensive to build. Same thing with the AN-94. AN-94, quick tangent. I love the hyperburst in AN-94. When you're hitting 1,800 rounds in 2-round burst, and the recoil from the AN-94's first shot isn't even felt until the second one has left the barrel, that's impressive engineering on a whole nother level. But the problem is it's complex, it's expensive, it's hard to clean, hard to maintain. And from what I've seen, Larry Vickers went over to Russia, had a little bit of hands-on experience with the AN-94. He's had 2. His second experience was a lot better, but his first one, that bitch jammed, and it did not unjam. They had to stop. He went through, I think he said 2 magazines, and that's all he got out of it before it jammed, and it was basically a catastrophic failure of a weapon at that point. Yeah, Russian guns to me are some of the coolest guns in the world. Because they're so innovative. The Russian military has so many amazing weapons, but they're so poor that they can't field them at all. And they can't import them over here. Because of how Russia treated Ukraine a little while ago, we have sanctions with them to hurt them economically. That's kind of our little Russia, if you don't stop treating Ukraine like a bunch of asses, we're gonna hurt you financially because fuck your economy. Yeah, take that. That'll stop you from treating Ukraine like a bitch. It didn't, by the way, just so you guys know. But we can't import weapons from them anymore or ammunition from them anymore because we are against them, and economically, that's how we're hurting them. So we can't get any of the cool stuff that they have. The Saiga shotguns that they have, can't import those anymore. The 5.45 by 35, whatever the AK-74 takes round ammunition, has been banned in our country. We can't import that stuff anymore. Oh boy, let me tell you, that stuff is cool. That was banned for different reasons though. So the Vityaz is such a cool gun. It's a 9mm version of an AK-74U. It's a fantastic looking thing, but we can't import those. So Kalashnikov USA, which is a subsidiary of Kalashnikov, had to basically bring all that manufacturing here to the United States to continue on selling those to us. So, yeah. Any of those projects that you see overseas that are super cool coming out of Russia, we can't get any of them. Yeah. I'm going to pull these pillows up behind me. I think they all fell. That's why I'm not able to lean back. It's 12. I'm not particularly tired. 5.56 is standard. 5.56 by 45 is what we shoot out of AR-15s. Let me see. AK-74 ammo. I think it's 545 by 30. So close. 545 by 39. Yeah, we can't import that anymore. It sucks. Sucks dick, man. It's fantastic, man. It's government regulations. So yeah, like I said, I'm not tired. The most painful thing to design is going to be the stock and grip system that's going on with this weapon. I know how long the barrel is. This is the length of the barrel. I can fit 8 shotgun shells in that tube, no problem. I might actually be able to fit a total of 9 in there, but we'll see. So I think we could probably finish up the barrel and be done with it for the night, to be honest. If we can't, well, if we can though, it's cool. So, how did I do it? Yeah, let's we'll just get right into the nudes, right? Is that what you're supposed to say? Is that how Keemstar does it? Is that how it's done? So yeah, basically how this works is we use a whole bunch of these. And when I say a whole bunch, I mean an absolute whole bunch. So you guys are going to see how this is done firsthand. So congratulations to all of those who have never seen this done before. So that starts that out, and then we do. We're going to reinforce this as needed. So simply put, we are going to kind of put an 8 in right about there. Like so. And now we are going to alternate these until we get to the end of where the barrel is. And that will be the end of it. Okay, so a shotgun shell will fit in what we have here. So now we have to build the rest of the sides. So to build the rest of the sides, it is pretty simple. If it loads, thank you, I appreciate it. Can you stop? Thank you. And then we're going to hit File, Save As. This is going to change from Work in Progress Receiver to Work in Progress magtube _barrel barrel. Save. And then we take this and we flip it on its side and we slap it right there, like so. Grab this. Not that. That's going to mess things up. Grab that, put it there. 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 These bracket pieces that I'm looking at, take a look into what they can do, guys. These things are they're absolutely fantastic pieces that a lot of people overlook, and you guys stop overlooking them. They feel a little hated right now, but if you guys were to take and use them, you would find some pretty intense things to do with them, to be honest. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Excuse me. They do a lot of really cool things, really, really well. So this entire mag tube actually fits shotgun shells. Just to show you guys that, we're going to go ahead and set them up so that it does fit shotgun shells. So we're going to slap this in here, like so. We're going to take and grab this, slap this right here. We're going to drag this off, place this here, place this here, get rid of this, get rid of that, grab this piece, put it here, grab this piece, put it there, delete that, color this piece brown, duplicate it on out so that's just free floating. We're going to select this piece, hit Control C, move this over to here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's with space between them. And now we're going to use the color selection tool to select the brown pieces and simply delete them so that they are no longer in the way. I fit 8 shotgun shells in that entire magazine tube and have 2 studs worth of room to spare. So that's cool. Like, I really like to be able to do that, but like, damn. Could you imagine loading this? Because I can't. Like, as a real life model, that would be so cool. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry that you guys had to see that. That was disgusting on so many levels. Anywho, so yeah, that goes just like that. In terms of loading shotgun shells, this piece right here can be deleted because that would be in the way. You just load them on in through this magazine tube. All of this is going to be covered up, so you can see that this ends exactly on top of where that should be. So now all we do is come through and fill in the top of it as it goes. So to do that is, again, simple. This stud right here originally is for this feed ramp to fit a shotgun shell. It doesn't need to be there, to be completely honest. And at this point, it does not need to be there. NTW20. Never seen that. I don't think. NTW20 anti-tank rifle. Enter. Images. Oh, this thing. I've seen images of it before. It just looks really weird. I actually don't mind an operator having an anti-tank rifle. I think his main ability with the anti-tank rifle would be like super over penetration. Like it would go through like 4 walls or something like that. Like super cool stuff like that, you know. Imagine just sitting in the edge of a room and you get spotted and then all of a sudden you just get like a freaking anti-tank rifle round tears through a wall and just like destroys you. As a gadget, that would be a cool thing, but I don't think as like a main weapon that would work out all too well. I think a lot of people would protest that as being a main weapon. Alright, so we just, like I said, come through, fill this in on top as needed. Switch this to a 3. Grab this, and then it should be an 8 to finish that on out. What did I delete? I didn't delete anything. Okay. Delete all this on out, like so. These are just kind of free floating. The next step is figuring out what this thing. Oh, it's a sling mount. Okay. We will try that. We'll see if that actually works. I don't know. I don't know yet. Like I said, we'll try that, but no promises. All right. So barrel is going to be built essentially the same way, just different direction. So for now, we're going to just kind of come through and flatten out the entire top of this, just to complete the overall looks of it. Alright, so that's that, like so. Imagine if this was the shotgun, the whole thing. It was just this. It's super weird. Anywho, so yeah, the barrel is basically going to be built using the same methodology, if you would. This right here, boop, and boop. Grab 16, place that on in. That, Control-C, Control-V, duplicate it on out. Grab that. boop, 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 and boop. Control C, Control V. And continue this on as we go. My legs hurt just a little bit. So people over here with their fireworks. Come on, man. What gun do I think will be the hardest out of all of the Rainbow Six Siege guns? Probably one of the LMGs. I don't think I've ever done like a belt-fed LMG. So I guess Zofia, I think she's the only one that has a belt-fed LMG in the game. Let me check. If you go to, I explained this earlier, but if you go to shop underneath the Rainbow Six Siege tabs, and you scroll down to weapon skins, you can actually sort through all the weapons in game by counterterrorism unit CTU or by weapon type. So we're going to scroll over to weapon type. We're going to scroll past assault rifles and ballistic shields, tactical shields, handguns, light machine guns. So we have, there's actually quite a few belt feds. There's 3 belt feds. There's the LMGE for Sovia, there's the M1014 for Capital, and then there's the 6P41 for Fuse. So I think, yeah, you got it, mate. I think one of those is going to be more difficult than the other ones. What bothers me about the 6P41 is actually that it's not what it's supposed to be. The 6P41 Fuse's LMG is actually a PKP Pecheneg, but it's modified because it's bullpup. And that's why it looks so weird to me, because it looks like a PKP Pecheneg, but it doesn't look like a PKP Pecheneg because it's bullpup, and that's kind of weird to me. So yeah, Ying is on there too, my friend. Fuse, Capital, Sophia have the belt feds, and then IQ has her LMG and Ying has her LMG. Those are both bag fit though. So yeah. Oh boy. Where was I? Okay, I see I missed this one. That's why. Okay, so that's that. Alright. Let's grab. Finish this one off. Yeah, she uses an X Products drum mag, which bothers me because I don't think X Products makes the drum mag for the weapon that she's using in that instance. Is it a post? Oh yeah, alright, got it. Cool. So we should switch to doing one studs in the center. And it does. See, the piece that I want to do this with isn't in LDD just yet, which is annoying. Wish LDD would get support again from LEGO. But alas, fuck me, am I right? It's not like everyone ever used LDD anyways, right guys? Assholes. How am I gonna do this? It's at an angle, but it's also hollow. What parts can I think of off the top of my head that I can use? Actually, I think there's a technic piece that we might be able to use. Where are you? Yeah, we're on pieces that are too big at this point. Favorite DMR in Rainbow Six? Let me check just to make sure I know. I'll say DMRs first. Boop boop boop. Ballistic shields, handguns, light machine guns, machine pistols, marksman rifles. Wow, why is that considered a marksman rifle? Interesting. Let's see, we got Twitches at 417, the OTS-03 from Glaz, the Blackbeard SR25, the Kamers from Buck, and the Mark 14 EBR from Doga B. I'd have to go to say the 417. The 417 is the one that I used by far the most in most maps. Like I can use the 417 pretty much anywhere and feel comfortable. If I'm on an airplane, it's by and large gotta be fuses. OTS SUV. I love that thing. SVU. SVU? I think it's SVU. See, I hear shit moving again. It's not fun. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to do this thing too. Which is kind of annoying, to be honest. It's how I want to do it, but I don't think that's how we're going to end up doing it. Togepi is by far the easiest out of all of them to control. The SR25 does have its perks and its upsides. My problem with Blackbeard in general is that his shields are too, I don't want to say good for me, but I die too fast for his shields to really do anything for me. I literally just, that's how fast I die. I'm not particularly, I don't want to say godlike, but I'm not good at the game enough for his shield to actually do something for me. And because of that, to me, he's useless. He's not someone that I use. That doesn't mean he's bad. It just means I'm not good with him. Yes. I'm trying to figure this one out. Let's switch to some more complicated building techniques. Yeah, it was a pretty heavy nerf. I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty heavy nerf. I personally don't like Blackbeard because when I play him, I always die so fast. But when other people play against me, I can never ever hit anyone, like when I'm trying to kill him or anything. But even though I hate him, I was able to be like, yeah, this is too strong of a nerf for this character. Like this needs to be toned down pretty heavily. Oh god, this isn't gonna work out the way I want it to. Most liked SMG. I really like the 9x19, whatever it's called for the Russian team. In real life, it's called the Vityas, but they They call it something else in game. I really like that SMG a lot. It's just this good all-around general purpose weapon, and not too much recoil, not too little. I've been trying really, really hard lately to use Echo's MP5 SD, but he has a lot of recoil on that weapon, to be honest. Ella's Scorpion Evo A3 is really, really good. I like it because it's just good. It's a really sexy looking gun as well. And then the MP7. I like the MP7. The P90, because that's the first gun I ever used in the game. MP5 is pretty good. I have a lot of favorites. So sorry if that really didn't answer your question. I do have a very large amount of favorites. So yeah. So now I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get the front sight, to be honest. So I will accept that. Oh, I see why I did that. Anyway, yeah. We'll probably come back to that later on, to be honest. Let's go ahead and take a look at working on doing the barrel. So there is an end cap on the barrel that will be 3 studs wide, but there is also another end cap right here as well. So we're going to take that on up, so, and then do a layer of flat 10 pieces, like so. Do it, ooh, a 4 fit there. We'll do a 4 like that, and then a 4 like that. Just like that. All right. Caveira's guns are generally speaking really, really good as well. I can see why you would pick that. I don't main Caveira all too much. I'm not good enough to main Caveira. I play her on occasion. I like her because of the most recent pistol buff. She's stupid right now, is the best way to put it. You can walk into a room full of people and just own every single one of them. There's no stopping her in some occasions. There are instances where you can really, really try. You can try to your heart's content to stop her from owning you, but it just doesn't work. If you're not the type of person to be getting headshot left and right, you're kind of screwed with her. It's just kind of how it is, man. So a lot of damage really, really fast. so that's that variable. And then we need like 8 almost. Yeah, they really did, to be honest. CZ75 by and large. Beforehand, it was Ella's RG15, but ever since that CZ75 got released, it's so good. It shreds through people left and right. It's so easy to control consistently all the time that it's so good now. I really like having that weapon in game a lot too. It works for what it is. Yeah, I don't put suppressors on any. Pretty much most of the guns I don't put suppressors on. There's a few that I do, but I really don't. So, not something that I generally do. I'll back this up to this point. And, oh, wait, gotta go forward. I think this is a good stopping point right here. We'll work on the other details another time. Favorite shotgun? I really don't use shotguns, but it has to be the Saiga 12 gauge that the Spetsnaz unit uses if I'm using shotguns. This is the M1014 and everything that we have with it thus far. We'll be taking a look at this another time, possibly tomorrow. Tomorrow's Christmas. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a Christmas stream. If we don't, I'm going to go ahead and probably jump off of this and onto social media to post it. And I'll see you guys on another YouTube stream. Thank you so much to everyone who came out on this Christmas Eve and stayed up with me this late to see and enjoy what I have to offer in the upcoming year. This will probably get included in 2018's models instead of 2017, but that's pretty much it. So I'll see you guys later in another YouTube video some other time. Oh God, of course I did that. Oh wait, didn't mean to. Oh God, stop that.